This is La Casa del Mundo, the most famous hotel in all of Guatemala, amassing tens of millions of views across social media.
And this week, we're gonna see if it actually lived up to the hype.
Now, before we get started, it's worth mentioning we paid for this hotel with our own money, which isn't always the case for these hotels that go viral on social media.
If you watched last week's video, you know that we're here in San Pedro in Lake Atitlan to do 2 weeks of Spanish school. Now that we've graduated to speaking mediocre Spanish, we decided to celebrate our graduation and spend 2 nights at this hotel and see if it lives up to its social media frenzy.
Like many of the towns dotting the coast of Lake Atitlan, there's only one way to get there, and that is by boat, and ours is showing up right now.
We travel 365 days a year, so to save money, we try to stay at Airbnbs that are under $50 a night. With rooms starting around $65 per night, Casa del Mundo is by no means expensive for a hotel, but between its hype on social media and its slightly higher price point by Guatemala standards, we were hoping for a comfortable and relaxing experience and some spectacular views.
One of the really cool things about La Casa del Mundo is that it's literally built into a cliffside. It's very dramatic looking and beautiful. The downside is that in order to get to the very top, to the reception desk, you have to basically hike all the way up the cliffside.
The journey starts with the first step. 73, 77, 78. Wow, this looks so nice. And a kitten. Oh my God. Just look at how nice this place looks. Wow.
Very fancy hedges right
Okay. We're making a video. Is it difficult to get a room with like a pretty view?
Let me check which one you are. I can give you one room, like a little cheaper. We can do that. The room you got it, a private bathroom. So this room I got it is going to be like a shared bathroom. I tell you this one because the balcony is so big one, and this is have like a good view.
Maybe we can look at the room that we have first and see how it looks.
Okay. Walking through the property is incredibly impressive. The landscaping is lush and immaculate. There's thoughtful touches of artwork sprinkled everywhere, and the layout, with a million staircases and stone walls, felt kind of like being in a secret garden. We checked out the room we had originally booked. The private bathroom was definitely nice, but the balcony and room itself were on the smaller side, so we headed down to the economy option with a shared bathroom. The balcony was huge and beautiful, and with a bathroom only a few steps away, we decided to save some money and go with this cheaper, prettier, and more spacious option. That's not bad.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We can go for the cheaper one with the nicer view.
Yeah?
Do you want the
Yeah.
answers?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Some much better view from.
Yeah, for sure.
I be making the change for rooms, and I'm here to help you. It's a pleasure. You're welcome.
Thank you.
This place is an absolute maze. It looks really cool until you actually have to find your room again. I'm sure after a few days here, you get used to where everything is, but yeah, it's just this labyrinth of stone walls and steps that go in every direction. Wow, this view is very, very nice. We have all of this and a hammock.
The whole deck party.
Look at this view. It's kind of a letdown that it doesn't have a private bathroom, but we've been sharing a bathroom for the last 2 weeks during our homestay in Guatemala, so I'm getting a little used to having a shared bathroom. You want to give me a tour of the room?
So we're at Lake Atitlan, which is known for having 11 Mayan villages around its rim. And as you can see, the sort of Mayan themes continue throughout this room. So we have all kinds of interesting, colorful art. From last week's video, you might remember that a lot of the Mayan women wear these beautiful woven type of skirts and things like that. And you can see that all over this room, from the pillows to the hanging on the wall to the curtains. Otherwise, this room's a little bare bones, but it's got, if you look closely, there's got some cute stuff. So like, for example, they give us this little dish with soap and shampoo. They have a bag so that you can do laundry here. They have an umbrella here for you. I was so worried about falling down the stairs, but they have your own flashlight. 1, 2, 3.
How is it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty soft.
Whoa. Look at that view.
So far, I'd say we're off to a pretty good start.
We unpacked and got some work done for a few hours. Unfortunately, Casa del Mundo is quite isolated and they don't allow you to bring food to the hotel, so your main option for dinner is to eat at the resort. So with its only restaurant being open for another half hour, we hurried up to grab dinner when we were told some unfortunate news.
So we hate complaining in videos, but we're super tired. We've been working ever since we got here. We just went over to the restaurant before it closes in about like 30 minutes, and the gentleman who checked us in came over and said, I'm really sorry, but I told you the price is going to be $200 less. I spoke with my manager, and the manager said his system won't let him change it. The general manager.
It just sounds like BS. You'd think that maybe there would be like a
Yeah,
workaround.
and we're not going to pay more money to have no private bathroom here, and the view isn't worth spending 25% more. I'd rather have a private bathroom if I'm going to be paying the same amount either way. So now we've only got like 30 minutes till the restaurant closes. It's the only place to get food, and we're packing up all of our stuff. We're already totally unpacked.
Just annoying, and for being kind of an expensive experience in Guatemala already, not exactly the kind of service that I would have hoped or expected.
I can't believe it's cheaper for them to re-clean this room. The guy interrupts us while we're looking at the menu at the dinner table, and he's like, oh, just take your time. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm tired. I don't want to eat a full dinner and then go back and pack my room. This was the moment when we realized that he was standing right outside of our door overhearing our conversation, which made for a pretty awkward, silent walk to our new room. This is definitely one of the strangest and most rigid reservation policies we've ever encountered in our travels. In case it's unclear, Casa Del Mundo offers rooms with shared bathrooms that are approximately 30% cheaper than rooms with private bathrooms. The attendant was basically saying the manager had no way to adjust the price that we had booked on their website, even though we hadn't paid anything yet, and they're a cash-only business, despite us accepting their offer for a more affordable room option at reception. In other words, they were essentially requiring that we pay 30% more than other guests staying in a comparable room, which seems at best unfair and like poor service. It definitely felt like a bait and switch. He didn't say much.
I think he probably knows that we're not very happy.
That was very weird. I saw Jess watching a video last night where some YouTubers were complaining about their experience at, what was it, like a hotel?
It was here.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow, and I reflexively said to Jess, I'm like, oh, that's so gross. Let's not complain in video.
It's a minor inconvenience, but it's late. It just really wasn't handled great.
No, he should have come to our room earlier. There's only a few minutes left to get food, by the way. We need to go do that. In the spirit of informing and not complaining, I would say, well, actually, I really don't know what the lesson learned here is. Do you know?
Maybe don't unpack your bags if you...
Let's go see how
dinner fares.
Yeah.
We got to dinner and it's been 15 minutes and literally no one has come to talk to us.
Justin just mentioned that I was watching a YouTube video with other people complaining in it, and the thing that the people were complaining about was specifically the service at the restaurant. And so far, I probably understand why that is.
Oh, that looks great. Thank you. Wow, it looks wonderful. The portions are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food was a bit on the pricey side for Guatemala, about 10 to 12 USD per entree, but not as bad as we were expecting. We had read some pretty negative reviews about the quality of the food, but we were actually pretty impressed by our dinner. We called it a night, and after staying in a very noisy room in San Pedro for the last 2 weeks, we were excited for a good night's sleep. Unfortunately, we were woken up pretty early by an aerial alarm clock.
So I know that we gave this place kind of a hard time last night, but if you can see behind me in the morning, it's absolutely beautiful. Something to consider though, it's about 6 in the morning and somebody was very loudly flying a drone over us. So I guess that's something that you might encounter at an Instagram famous hotel. Additionally, the walls are pretty thin. They use this like mesh on the window, which are pretty much open all of the time. There's no air conditioning, so you can pretty easily hear all your neighbors. So this isn't any place that I would decide to plan a covert operation or have any kind of noisy rumpuses, because I'm pretty sure people would hear you.
We were pretty glad that we have a private bathroom. Jessica wanted nothing more than to take a long hot shower. Unfortunately, there is no hot water. They have a sign that says to leave the water running for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think they have propane heaters that they can turn on. So I'm just gonna go ask the front desk to do that. It's just a little annoying. It's not that big of a deal, but again, like if you're on your honeymoon or you're trying to like kind of have a relaxing escape.
¿Agua caliente?
Sí, gracias.
Success?
Yeah, it's still not like super, super hot, but it's definitely hotter.
Don't waste it. Go, 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 vamos. What did you say?
It's magical and I love it.
Now it's getting cold.
Oh. I haven't had a hot shower in 2 weeks. I was really looking forward to a long hot shower. Okay.
That is the saddest experience I've ever had.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I thought this place was gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is not fun so far.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. If we had known all this stuff, I think we probably wouldn't have come.
One of my favorite things about this hotel so far is that it has a resident kitten that just somehow seems to be everywhere all the time.
Come on.
No,
You're not done with kitten time?
I like the kitten.
You like kitten time?
Yeah. And this is a chill cat.
So we have been waiting for maybe about an hour for them to fix the water, but it's now around 9 a.m. so we're getting pretty hungry. So we were going to walk to the nearby town of Jaibalito to get some food. So we went to the front desk to just let them know that. They offered to give us breakfast and drinks this morning for free for the inconvenience, which is really nice and the kind of gestures that I think really goes a long way with making kind of inconveniences like this up.
It has been an hour and we still do not have food or even coffee. We both ordered bottomless coffee.
Our food has arrived.
Last night's food was pretty good. I'm excited to see how breakfast fares.
This guy sitting at the table next to me will not shut up.
The cat is really making this experience for sure. So one of the unique things about La Casa del Mundo is that it's pretty remote. You can basically only walk to one town, the teeny town of Jaibalito. It's my understanding that there's really only a handful of restaurants and shops there. We plan to walk there for dinner tonight, but otherwise you're kind of stuck at this resort unless you take a boat to one of the other towns around Lake Atitlan, which can take anywhere between half an hour and 45 minutes. But Casa del Mundo does have all these little like hangout spots with chairs and electrical outlets and tables that you can chill out, work out, sunbathe, but it's definitely a nice place to work and take in the views. We just climbed up all of the steps of La Casa del Mundo and we are currently on the walking trail to Jaibalito. Also, Lake Atitlan and Jaibalito is very, very, very beautiful. It's got some like jungle vibes to it.
This feels like Costa Rica or Hawaii.
This is beautiful.
Wow.
This definitely is the most like lush part of Lake Atitlan that I've seen. I would definitely say that Jaibalito is the least developed and least touristy of the towns that we've visited in Lake Atitlan. It's mostly residential houses as well as a couple of restaurants. But it's sort of a really awesome way to see a more authentic side of Guatemala.
We wandered around Jaibalito for a bit. There's only a handful of restaurants and small convenience stores in town, and to be honest, we encountered a few extremely intoxicated individuals who aggressively asked us for money or alcohol, so we quickly made our way to Indigo Bistro right on the lakeshore to have dinner. The food was on the pricier side for Lake Atitlan, but similarly priced to Casa del Mundo, and was seriously some of the best food that we've had in the area. There's a boat dock right in front, so if you're staying anywhere in the lake, we think Indigo Bistro is worth a visit. Plus, we were able to make some new fluffy friends at dinner.
We walked into this town because we thought food here was going to be considerably cheaper than it is at the resort. Turns out it's like maybe a teeny tiny bit cheaper, but I would say the service here is considerably better than what we've received at the resort. We didn't notice any like real authentic looking Guatemalan food, so we got some coconut curry as well as falafel.
It could be because he loves us or because he wants scraps, but I love this baby.
This is everything that I need in my life.
Oh, hi! Another chihuahua. This is our room. There is a latch to close it from the outside.
Which is a little creepy.
Why would you need that? Someone, please tell me. I can't stop thinking about this the entire weekend.
I'm going to say some positive things about this property. It's absolutely beautiful. I've never been to any place like this. There's all these cool little hidden corners, statues, artwork all over the place. It's very, very unique, and if you love kind of unique decor, I think you'll love it. That being said, we've had some kind of weird experiences, and if I had to sort of like sum up our feelings, it probably would be, it feels a little money grabby. I booked a reservation for us to go to the hot tub, which per their website is $40, but when I went to book it, it's actually $45. They just said that was last year's price, even though I literally showed it to them on their website. Everything just costs kind of like a little too much. Kayak rentals are $10 per person per hour. Stand-up paddleboards are the same thing, and as people who own kayaks, you can get them for pretty cheap. It's just like everything just feels like a little too expensive. The juice has not been worth the squeeze. Also, it kind of looks like I'm naked right now. I'm wearing a bathing suit, and we are waiting for the rain to stop so that we can get some kind of enjoyment out of today, but just wanted to say I am not naked.
Look at that.
So the one activity that we signed up for at La Casa del Mundo is a wood-fired hot tub. I've never done one of these before, and I've always wanted to. Not the best weather, but I'd rather have like kind of a cool rainy day than a super hot one, so maybe it'll be really nice.
And can you beat this view?
There is a couple different services that you can get at La Casa del Mundo. There is an artisanal sauna, massages, and the one that we opted for is a wood-fired hot tub. I love stuff like this, but I've never had the opportunity to do one, so I'm very excited.
Oh, wow. How does it feel?
It's good. It's not like burning. I've heard that it's like kind of hard to regulate, and oftentimes it's like super hot, but it's just like the perfect temperature.
Can I join you?
Yeah.
All right.
In order to use the hot tub at Casa del Mundo, you have to reserve it at least 8 hours in advance. It is $45 for 3 hours, which honestly I don't think is a very bad deal, especially if you happen to be with like a larger group. There's like a guy who keeps coming by and stoking it and putting in more wood for us, so it's nice and toasty. Out of everything that we've done here, this has probably been my favorite.
Well, not everything went according to plan, and I don't think I really ever got over the sour taste in my mouth from the first night when we were told during dinner that our room would be 30% more expensive. That being said, this place is incredibly beautiful, and it's clear that the staff takes excellent care of the property.
I think it was just a little bit of an Instagram versus reality kind of thing for me. There were just a few things that were underwhelming. The service in the restaurant is pretty slow. There was a few bait and switches with the price of things, and our hot water in our room never wound up working. If you're just looking for a really chill, beautiful place to relax in a hammock and read a book, or you're super into Instagram, I think this would be an awesome place to stay for a day or two. Otherwise, if you're more interested in actually seeing Lake Atitlan, I'd probably recommend staying in San Pedro or San Marcos, where they have more options for restaurants and shops, and you get a little bit more of a local experience. That being said, I would recommend coming here for a day pass. It's only 50 quetzales.
Next stop, Colombia.